All right, the first thing I'm going to do, and I sent this to both of you, and that is I'm going to add, well, actually the only place that I need it is really in here. So in this, I'm going to go down to where we're validating the state here. And for now, at least, yeah, we can check if it's empty. That's not a problem. And we can return false. That's not a problem. But before we even do that, I'm going to come in here. And I've got, like I said, I sent this to you. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I screwed up someplace. And what I mean by that is I've got 51 states, so I repeated one. But I was literally stripping off the state name, if you know what I'm saying, to give you this. So like I said, there's something that's goofed up with this. Now, why doesn't it like this? Okay. But what I want to do is I want to be able to go in and check and see whether or not it's not only, was it in there, but was it one of these, is what I'm saying. So what doesn't it like here? All right. Give me a second here because I'm just having a brain fart. C# string. That is what I should have done to begin with. String array of US states. Probably somebody's already done this. Swift US states array. Might be able to grab that one, I don't know. Nope, I don't want that. Combo box on a represent states. All right. Oh, I think it's because I didn't give it a size. So it's string, bracket, states equals new string, bracket 50, bracket, even though there's 51, new string, and a reinitializer of length 50 is expected. Well, that's what I just gave it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, jeez. No, that's one thing. I don't want that to be a big S. I want that to be a little s. Bracket, string 50. What doesn't it like here? Oh, I'm sorry about this. String, bracket. Oh. Well, what I want to do, and I'll fix it during our next break, I'll tell you what, for now, I'm just going to comment this whole thing out. All right? But you'll get it back, I promise, by the next break. So I'm just going to comment that out for now. Now, so right now, all we're going to say is if it's empty, give the message in return. But what I want to do, as soon as I can get this goofy thing set up, is I want to traverse through the array. And if you find in that array, if you find the state, return true. If you get all the way through it, you haven't found it, return false. Does that make sense to both of you?
Yes.
Okay, because to me that makes it's a little bit better than what we're doing right now. All right. So let's see. We now have zip to go, and then area code, and then phone, and then keep going. All right. So let's see. Let's do zip next. Again, as always, we're getting the error because we haven't written the routine yet. So I'm just going to grab the last one that we did, not that one. I'll grab the city one. We'll do it down here. We'll call it validate zip. All right, text, but yeah. All right. So if we get all the way back up here, so now, and you've seen this, we have validated the city and the state and the zip. All right. Now, we have been just saying this, if keep going, and then we want to keep going. But if validate zip worked, before we do keep going, we want to say text box city state zip equals city plus a comma and a space plus state, and I'm just in case they put it in, I'm going to say to upper because we're used to seeing states in uppercase, plus, and we'll fix all this in just a minute, zip. All right, so what doesn't it like here? Not implicitly convert type string. Oh, dot text. Now I'm asking you the question, does this make sense?
Yes.
All right. What we will do, and again, we're going to take a nice hefty break at it when we finish this lecture, like 20 minutes, because I want to rate this and get it to work. Plus, we'll put in here a regular expression pattern that says you can either have 5 digits or 5 digits, a comma, 5 digits, a hyphen, and 4 digits. So we will check for that in here as well. All right. And when we come back after our next break, we'll have all that stuff. All right. So we now have validated everything except area code and phone number. All right. And again, so we will come down here. And just as we have been doing, I'm going to copy that. I don't need this now. But if I want to keep going, now I want to validate the area code. All right. And that was just, well, it was called area code. Okay. All right. Got to come down here, as you know. I know, and write this. And this is an int. All right, but we can check first and say if AC dot to string, if it's empty. So we can say here area code. All right, and if that's the case, we wanted to go back now to the, I don't remember what we call this. Is it just phone? Phone number. All right, and put the focus there. All right, and return false. All right, but what are we going to have to check there? Well, we're going to have to check to make sure that that is 3 digits. All right, we're going to assume that when you put in the area code, it's 3 digits followed by a hyphen, followed by 3 digits, followed by a hyphen, followed by 4 digits. And even though we are breaking this down into checking the area code and then checking the phone number, this should still work okay. All right. Like I said, we're going to take a healthy break after this. So I want to fill all this stuff in for you. And that should leave us with just one field to go. Didn't like that. I don't want that to be a string. I want that to be an int, so you're going to have to change yours as well. Sorry. And just set it equal to 0. That's fine. That should fix the error that we had down here then. There it is. That's fixed. All right, so finally, last one. So if keep going, now we want to validate the phone number. All right, else return. Okay. If phone number equals string.empty.trim. Okay. Did I call it validate phone number or validate phone? Validate phone number. Okay. Reason that that's breaking, I think, is that. There we go. All right. So now when you look at this, I'm just going to take it from the top here. There's our fields. First of all, and I'm just asking, any questions on any of these fields?
No.
What they are, why they are, etc. All right. So we validate the first name. If it returned true, we validate the last name. Otherwise, we're just done. All right. We validate the address. If the last name was valid, we validate the address. Otherwise, we're done. If the address was valid, we validate the city. Otherwise, we're done. If the city was valid, we validate the state, which we're going to have to work on. All right. Otherwise, we're done. If the state's valid, we validate the zip, which I'm going to have to work on. And if that's valid, we're going to go on and we're going to validate. Oh. So we already did zip here. So that'll be the area code. Just grab all this. All right, finally, if that's okay, we validate the phone number. Now, there's more work that we're going to have to do here. If we get down to this point, what does that mean? That means that everything that we put in was valid. So we put in strings for every field except for the area code, which we put in a valid 3-digit int. All right. Now, one thing is, if we do want to keep going here, so if keep going, right? If I get down to this point, I know I've got a valid area code and I've got a valid phone number. So I'm going to want to say text box phone number dot text equals area code dot toString plus a hyphen plus our phone number. All right. Does that make sense to both of you?
Yes.
All right. So after we've done that, I'm going to call another routine here that's just going to that's going to be called write. Write. How about this? Write fields. Write record to database. All right. So what I would like you to do, we're going to stop this actually a little bit early. All right. Or maybe a lot early. But what I would like you to do, let's see. Oh yeah, we still have plenty of time. Is I'd like you to then go on to the next record in our table. And the next record in our table is, well, take an easy one. Take categories. Because for category, all you have to check is category description. All right. Now, there's different ways that we can write this. Rather than writing an array of descriptions, we might want to add a description. We could make a list. All right. So technically what I'm saying is we probably should check when they put in a description to make sure that's not already in the list. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, that might take a little bit of work. So why don't you go on and try the orders table, okay? And if, that's got a date time field in it, so you might have to look that up. See if you can write the insert for the orders table, or just pick one of the other 4 tables. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop until about 9:30 because I've got 9:10. I'm going to see if in that time I can fix all the errors I put into this first one and get everything I want to get in there. All right, and then come back and be able to show you everything. So again, sorry, it's a little bit scatterbrainy this morning, but drop off if you would, and then we'll meet up again at 9:30 and we'll pick it up there. Okay? Thanks.